This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Shade, one of our listeners here, asked a question on Twitter. And by the way, you guys picked this topic. We put a poll up this week to say, hey, what do you want Kurt to talk about this week? And we put up a poll. You voted, and this won. If you want to vote in what we're talking about next week, cruise on over to the Angle Pod on Twitter. And that's where Shade had a great question. What's your fondest memory of this night, be it in or out of the ring?
My fondest memory was being in the ring. That was, it's like I said, it was the first time that I was really proud of a match. I felt like my work of art was completed properly and done perfectly. It was that type of match. It was just special in every way, from beginning to end. You watch the match over and over. You can pick out some flaws here and there, but for the most part, that match was as perfect as it could get. Everything about it, the psychology, the false finishes, the amount of time on the heat, the wrestling at the beginning, the finish was awesome because a lot of feature matches don't have straight up finishes. It's a ref gets bumped or someone cheats. This right here, we got a baby heel match and you had a straight up victory from the heel. That's what made the finish so special. That's why Dave Meltzer loved it, is because there wasn't any shenanigans in it. It was just straight up done deal. And so that's what I'm most proud of. That's my fondest memory, is the match.
When you walk back through the curtain that night, is this one of those standing ovation from the locker room type deals? Or what?
Yes, it was. A lot of the talent came into the Gorilla. If they didn't, they were outside waiting where the TV was set up backstage, where there were a bunch of seats set up for everybody. Yeah, to view it. We got a standing ovation when we got in the Gorilla. Then we walked through the room where the TV was and standing ovation. And it was just like we knew that we just had the best match of the year. And there was nobody that was going to contest that. But you know what? You have Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle. What did you expect?
Do you remember the reaction from Pat Patterson or Vince McMahon after the match?
Pat was over the moon about it. He was crying. He was crying. Pat was an emotional guy, especially when you had an incredible match. And he knew how hard we worked on this match and what we wanted to accomplish. And he was crying. He was so proud of us. And also, Shawn and me and The Rock were his three favorite wrestlers. So, Pat took an extra interest in us and cared about us a little bit more than the other wrestlers. Not that he showed it, but
yeah,
you knew it. I mean, he worked with the guys he really enjoyed working with. And he enjoyed working with Shawn, Rock, and me. And, him getting emotional just made me emotional.
What about Vince McMahon? Does he give you a hug when you come through, or have
yes. And we'll talk about it another time. But Vince and I were I guess we were. What's the word? Not fighting, but we were having some arguments over certain things at that time. But he forgot about it that night. He gave me a big hug and said, "I'm so proud of you." And that meant a lot to me because I was struggling through some things at the time, and Vince wasn't real happy with me. I made a lot of mistakes, and for him to say, forget about tonight. Let's just celebrate what you accomplished, because he said, you are the best. That's what he told me. He said, you are the best.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.